Top of the morning to you, laddies. So, Josh Morris and Stacy Talich, it's good to see you guys on this St. Patty's Day. However, I know most of you probably won't even watch the show because you're probably out drinking. That's what a lot of people tend to do. I'm not going to drink today. I'm going to do the show and stay sober. Stacy, are you drunk?
No, not even close.
Have you been hitting the green beer?
No, not even close. Not even the green ganja. You know, I'm perfectly sober.
Yeah, anything green, I guess, counts, right? You can either smoke the green or drink the green. I don't know, whatever. But, folks, we're going to have some fun. Hi, Nicola Kerslake. It's good to see you. But, yeah, we're going to have some fun today because it's St. Patrick's Day. This is our regular paranormal episode. And guess what? We are going to actually try to contact some spirits tonight on the Dowsing Rods. And you know what? Just for fun, we may even try to contact St. Patrick himself. Why not? And, you know, for some reason, I feel the need to try to contact Elvis. I don't know if you guys have seen the new movie trailer for Elvis. Elvis, I'm really excited for it. And, yes, I know it's got Tom Hanks in it. But, and no, he's not playing Elvis. You know, he's getting too old for that now. But the guy that's playing him looks like a really good kid. He's from the Disney Channel kind of deal, you know, so I'm sure he'll grow up to have psychological issues. But he looks like he does a really good job. And if you're an Elvis fan, it's looking like it's done right. So I don't know. I'm curious to see, but something tells me, like, I don't know, we may try to even reach out for Elvis. I know, and for those of you that might start watching this and say, Josh, are you going for some kind of cash grab? Are you trying to go for some clout, you know, some clickbait? Well, I didn't put it in the title, but I don't care what you say. It's my show, and we're going to have fun. So suck it. All right. So if you guys want to have fun, stick around. That's how we do it here. Stacy, I am so excited. So what do you think about St. Patrick's Day? I'm going to cover a little bit of the general history, nothing in depth. But Stacy, what do you think about St. Patrick's Day? Is it something that you ever look forward to, or did you used to?
No, well, not really. It was one of those holidays that always snuck up on you. You know, sort of like Memorial Day or Martin Luther King Day. Just kind of all of a sudden, hey, guess what day it is? It's not something you particularly look forward to. But when it happened and you were at work, everybody decided at the end of the day, you know, hey, let's go out to the bars. So,
right. I think that's what it was for me. It was more of just a drinking holiday.
Yeah.
So back in my drinking days, I was definitely looking forward to it. But then as I got to a certain age, or when I quit drinking, all that stuff, it's like, what am I really celebrating? I mean, I do have some Irish heritage in me. But so that's what I'm going to talk about a little bit is, what are we celebrating essentially? Well, I'm not going to get into a whole lecture about St. Patrick. However, St. Patrick was the patron saint of Ireland, and he is believed, he was born in like the Roman Britain area, but when he moved to Ireland, he brought Christianity with him. Okay, so he was really credited for bringing Christianity to Ireland, and that's a big deal for a lot of people. And he ended up they believed he died about March 17th in the year 461, so in the 5th century. And of course, he's also one that associated with like the 3-leaf clover with the Holy Trinity, where you had the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit representing the 3 clover leaves. So again, this is a lot of things that were very important. This is just a little bit. I'm not going to, again, get into in-depth stuff. I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of St. Patrick history. And also, coincidentally enough, do you know where the first St. Patrick's Day parade, do you know when that was, or even where it was? Stacy, how about you? Do you know anything about that?
If I was to guess, I would say Chicago. But
okay, so the very first St. Patrick's Day ever was in 1601.
Oh, that's not Chicago.
Okay. You want a second guess?
I would probably say Ireland.
Okay. So, believe it or not, it actually is in America. However, it is in what we now know as St. Augustine, Florida.
Oh.
Pretty cool, huh? So I wouldn't have known that because I know there was like the Spanish influence that came in there. There was a Spanish fort there at St. Augustine and stuff like that. So I didn't realize that until I did some research. And then I found out that now later it did migrate to other big cities that eventually became like Boston and stuff like that. Because I know a lot of people think of like Boston, when they do the Green River and all that stuff, and even Chicago.
Chicago too.
Chicago, yeah, right. So a lot of people think about those things, but believe it or not, St. Augustine, Florida seemed to be the host. I think it was right before they were actually called St. Augustine, Florida, but they were the first real host of the very first St. Patrick's Day parade right here in America. So, and of course we had the influx of the Irish immigrants and all that stuff. So it all evolved from there. So now that we got history out of the way, all right.
Well, St. Patrick's was actually kind of an SOB. He was credited for bringing Christianity to Ireland, but he was also on a crusade to kill pagans. And that's what ended up killing him, is because he went to war with the majority population at the time. And they killed him, and the Catholic Church said, well, now you're a saint. So,
hey, well, you know what? I don't know. I don't know what to respond to that other than it's all good.
According to the Catholic Church, he went there and was known for killing snakes. He killed, hundreds of snakes at a time, and that was euphemism for pagans. So,
yeah,
it is what it is, I guess.
Well, and like I said, I wanted to kind of tell everybody this is what is being celebrated this year. Now, if you're like pagan or, maybe you're not going to celebrate this day.
It doesn't matter. Any excuse to drink is usually what people need.
Right. And that's usually the whole thing. It's like, a day off. Like most people, there's half the time, and I know I'm guilty of it. I am so guilty of it. Like especially when I was younger, it's like any of the holidays, I hardly even cared what they were really about. It was like time off work, And when you have time off work, you get to go drink, So it was like drinking and working, and holidays helped all that. That was it. And sometimes you had paid holidays, if you had a good job, So that's all I cared about mostly. I didn't care about President's Day and honoring all that stuff, No offense. It just, that's just how I was. I was self-centered, a little more self-inward.
To be honest, if we didn't have the holidays, that would be lost to history and no one would remember it at all anyway. So, you get past a certain few hundred years and people are like, what? I don't think that happened. So.
Yeah, and Kurz said, you learn something new every day. I do. I didn't even learn that stuff till right before the show when I researched it. So I was trying to give you something. I didn't want to give you guys nothing on St. Patrick's Day. I was just at least trying to find something for you guys.
Well, if you're wearing green, trying to get the luck of the Irish, what you got to do is find a shillelagh, give it a good whacking, then you kiss the Blarney Stones, and you're pretty sure to get lucky.
I have no green. Dude, seriously, I cannot believe I don't own any clothing that has green on it. Seriously, I thought for sure I had something. And I was going through and I'm like, black, black. Oh, blue. Wait, black. Oh, this has got some black and blue and red. Okay. White, red, black. I'm like, what the hell? Nothing I had. I'm like, wait a minute. Let's go with the old trick from high school days. When kids didn't have green on and they were like, I'm wearing green underwear.
Yeah.
I was going through, I'm like, blue, blah. I'm like, I don't have green underwear. What the man? So I'm going to have to incorporate something green in my wardrobe in the future. So I've already got pinched for it. Terry Lynn pinched me twice at dinner. So, and I just pinched her back, even though she did have one little green leaf thing on her shirt. So, but
well, I'm colorblind, so I could be wearing green right now and I wouldn't know it. So
no, I don't see any green on you. But look, but for your sake, we'll just say it's green. So everybody, just tell Stacy he wore his green shirt today. We'll just all fake him. What, he can hear? Oh, all right. We have the horse racing festivals over in England. The Irish came over for that. Nice. All right. So, guys, I want to keep the show moving. I'm happy with this pace. I love it. We're having fun. I'm having fun. I'm stoked, man. I'm telling you, I started my new diet yesterday, although I did start fasting and stuff like 3.5 weeks ago. But I started doing like more keto style, almost carnivore style. And I got to say, like last night, I had my first kind of like all carnivore dinner. And today, like I didn't feel like I felt satiated all day. And normally, like I'll have a few little hunger pains here and there, but like I felt solid. And then had a good dinner tonight with chicken and Alfredo sauce. It's kind of it's all carnivore style diet. And man, like I feel good. I'm serious. Like I just feel like I have energy tonight. And then says his shirt looks olive green. Yeah, it looks gray to me though, but we'll say that. Yeah, that sounds good, honey. Olive green it is. So Stacey's wearing olive green. So there you go, Stacey. You're part of the Irish. I don't have anything green. I really don't. I have no. Oh, I have a whole green screen behind me. Does that count? I guess I could wear it, put it on me or something. That'd be weird. Anyways, all right. So let's get some stuff going here because I want to. Now, what we're talking about doing, folks, if we're talking about, actually, I really hate. I'm going to do this because I'm going to move back because I really hate that one view. I hate to put my arms forward. So, guys, you're just going to have to deal with not seeing the tips. If you want to see the tips of my dowsing rods, that's too bad. All right, here we go. All right, so. All right, hold on. Let me get myself right. I'm all excited. My energy is spastic. Let's get focused. Let's get centered. Let's get some energy. All right. Here we go. All right. Can my spirit guide come forward? And could you please cross the rods? Let me know that you're here, please. You please come forward, move the rods together. Thank you. Appreciate that. Now, can you straighten the rods out, please? Straighten the rods back out, please. Thank you for that. I hope you're having a good St. Patrick's Day if you enjoy such things. Spirit guide. I was wondering, because we're going to try to reach out. Is there any way that is St. Patrick himself, is he available to communicate? Could you please cross the rods for yes or push them apart for no? Could you find St. Patrick? Is he available? I know we're asking quite a bit of time. I'm not sure if it's too long of time. I know time works differently, but all right, and we got Chantel, Loving Minds Davis. Hello, may I have a reading, please? Possibly. I do have my tarot cards. Right now, we're trying to contact St. Patrick. I don't think it's going to work though. Spirit guide, is St. Patrick? Can you get him? Is he available? No. Okay. Well, I just thought we'd try to see if we get St. Patrick. I mean, hell, it's St. Patrick's Day. Why not? So, talk to your grandpa. Stop. I don't want to talk to my grandpa, honey. Oh, I know she means well, but I'm just not ready for that. All right, spirit guide. What about Elvis Presley? Elvis Aaron Presley. Is he available to communicate? Could you have him come forward, please? Can you cross the rods and let us know if he's available? Bummer. Dang it, man. I'm like 0 for 2. All right.
Well, you're going for like, the king and a saint. And, a lot of times they got stuff going on.
I know. But I was hoping, But all right. See, this is where like this would be beneficial if I faked stuff. All right. Well, thank you, Spirit Guide, for coming forward. Let me know that you're here. I'm going to end the session temporarily. But yeah, honey, I know you mean well with my grandpa, and Terry, my wife's been wanting me to talk to my grandpa. He had passed away, somewhat recently, and I don't know. It's just one of those things. But Chantel, let's get you a reading here.
Recent spirits are hard to talk to sometimes because they haven't acclimated yet.
Well, and I know that if anything, he's the way my grandfather is he's probably hanging out, watching over my grandma right now. That's just how he's always been. He's always taking care of her like that, So if anything, he probably is just I don't know. Okay, so let me focus here on Chantel Davis. I'm assuming. So, will my last two kids' father propose soon? Okay. All right. So let me clear this energy from the last session, just in case I didn't already. Okay, there we go.
Chantel, what's his name?
Chantel, do you want to do a first name for your kid's father? It kind of helps for us to get a little more specific for tarot. All right. PB. All right. So tarot, could you let us know, is Chantel Davis is wanting to know, tarot, if PB is going to propose soon? Is PB going to propose soon? Could you give us? Let's do a yes no. Okay. So tarot's going to have me cut the deck. Okay. So when I deal these, when I flip these, when they face me, that's a yes. When they face away from me, that's a no. But we'll analyze it here. We have a no, and we have a no. So right there, we have all three no's. Now that doesn't mean he won't propose, but right now, Tarot is saying not soon, because you wanted to know if he's going to propose soon. So Tarot's interpreting as soon as basically that means no, not soon, but doesn't mean he will. He won't propose. And we can always find out too.
Soon being the operative word here and all of that. Terry Lynn started her spirit boards today.
Yes, I'm excited. She's already off to a good start.
Hey, Terry Lynn, if you want to add some juice to it in the resin, if you can get some graveyard dirt and just put a little bit pinch in the resin, and when you mix it up, and that way it goes throughout the whole board, that will add some serious juice to your product.
Hey, there you go, honey. Go down to East Hill Cemetery.
Yeah.
All right, and of course, like, does Bernie know that I got my love of music from when I babysat for her? So, is that a question? Is that something you want to know from the Dowsing Rods? Or are you trying to contact the spirit? Does Bernie know that I got my love of music from when I babysat for her? I mean, we can find out if you want to kind of guide me in how you want me to approach that. And Chantel, if you're still here, if you want to know, if you want a relationship kind of reading, if you want to know a little deeper read into your relationship coming up, I can do that for you as well. The only thing I usually ask is anybody that comes in here, because I don't really sit there and try to force you to pay for them right now. The only thing I ask is just share this stream with people. That's all I ask. Share, and if you're on YouTube, obviously subscribe. hit the notification bell so that way you know whenever I go live and do some of these readings and stuff. But all right, so let's do this here. Okay, so here we go. So Chantel did say yes, please. Okay, so we'll do that real quick, and then as soon as Kerslake, if you want to, clarify a little bit on that question, then maybe if you want me to if you want me to ask a spirit, or if you want me to do a tarot reading or something on that. Okay, so let me focus on this. So here we go, clear that energy. Okay, so tarot. Could you let Chantel Davis, could you give her some guidance on her relationship with PB and upcoming, please? What's the upcoming near future of the relationship going to be like? Can you give us some guidance? All right. There we go. Okay. Right here. Right here. There you go. Let's find out. So we've got the, looks like the 8 of Pentacles, and we have the Ace of Pentacles. So not bad. There's some positivity in this. And so the one thing I want to tell you is I always like to try to read to you a little bit about what some of this means. So this is your main card, and this is your clarifier, okay, Chantel? So your main card is the 8 of Pentacles. That means that you want to improve like security, like craftsmanship, like expertise and things. So this is getting to know when it comes to relationships, this is getting to know your spouse, okay, or partner in this case, girlfriend, boyfriend, whoever it is, PB. But this is getting to know them better, and this clarifier here is a divine inspiration. That's why you see almost like a hand of God, kind of out there. It's like that. I'll just show it to you even closer right here. So this is that divine spark of ideas. So this is something that, as a clarifier, means that you may want to look into getting to know that person even better, and you're going to want to provide a little bit of inspiration to that individual. And I think when we talked about propose, you're kind of wondering if this person's going to propose to you, and it says not soon. But I have a feeling if you put a little more investment into like a deeper relationship with this person through a little bit of divine kind of spark, some inspiration, that again, you're going to have to take the ball by the hand, so to speak, and you're going to have to make that happen. And then I think that person may step up their proposal. That's what I see. So I hope that helps.
Also, you could always try a love spell.
And that's true. So Stacy, also in these situations, Stacy is approachable on these things of you can do love spells and stuff. There's always that other option. Yeah, and Stacy, why don't you explain why somebody might want to do a spell versus like a fate, like when you do a tarot, it's kind of more of like here's a path that is going possibly to the future. This is potential fate. So why would somebody maybe want to do a love spell? Why would they want to do that?
Well, a lot of times what you're reading is what is currently in the mind of whoever it is that you're talking about. And in this case, it's the boyfriend who has yet to propose. He may have all kinds of other stuff on his mind. He may have Peter Pan syndrome, for all we know, that he's, wanting to buy 3-wheelers or 4-wheelers. And, he just wants to play, and he hasn't put himself in a position where he's focused in that kind of a thing. And the cards are going to reflect that, saying he's not in the right head for any of that. He's not going to propose. Well, a love spell would actually put him in the right mind. Things would start to develop with him because you would be on his mind a lot, and he would be thinking about you a lot. And then after a while, he'd be questioning what it would be like without you. And, that's when everything starts to kick in. So it's one of these things where you're not dominating the person, but you're, through the subconscious mind, influencing them to think about you in a good way. And that kind of stuff develops a routine, and eventually people have a tendency to appreciate you for who you are and what you are, because they're thinking about you a lot, not just on Valentine's Day or your birthday or anything like that. It just all of a sudden just thinks wonderful things about you and can't live without you, kind of thing. It's not an enslavement. It's just subconscious, henpecking. Let's put it that
Or
way.
would that be like a cosmic kick in the butt?
A cosmic kick in the butt. You're not doing anything evil with a love spell. It's just, influencing them and putting them in the right head. And a lot of times, people just aren't in the right frame of reference. I mean, there's rom-coms that live and breathe off that. Two people who hated each other in the beginning and they weren't even looking at each other. Next thing you know, at the end, they're like, getting married and living happily ever after.
Right. Now, Chantel, since you're on Facebook, if you can, because you wanted to know how to do that. So, Stacy, we can arrange that where we can get you the love spell, and we can coordinate that. So if you want to reach out through Messenger, you can always message us, and then we can kind of work all that details out, and we can give you everything you need to know. All right, so I know Kerslick said that she was from a big Irish family. Been thinking of her lately, but Terry Lynn also said people could think I've lost it, but we'll definitely do that. Don't care what people think of me as long as y'all like me. I'm good. So
Terry Lynn,
of course.
on that front, when you go to a cemetery, you can't just steal the dirt. That has bad mojo behind it. You have to pay for it. And luckily, what you can do is you can go to the cemetery with carnations, with flowers, start digging in the dirt to plant the flowers on a grave, and then just keep the dirt and walk away. You've given an offering, you've given payment for the dirt, and it looks like you're doing something nice for whatever grave you're at. So nobody will think differently, as long as you're not, got a giant shovel, to in a wheelbarrow taking away all the dirt. You just a little Ziploc bag full of dirt from, little garden hoe.
Got a tarp lined my trunk, and she's got me out there digging. Dragging into the cars riding down. She's like, Josh, we need lots of dirt. It's a business investment.
No, just a little pinch in each thing is all you need.
I dug down until I hit something solid. I don't know what. It sounded like a tree stump.
It's like buried treasure under here. I don't know why.
Oh, it was a Rolex. Anyways, we're going to hell for this. All right. So yes, then the spirits will follow. All right. So it's a good tip. If you're gonna borrow some dirt from the cemetery, you pay for it.
Well, I've done it where it's with the flowers, or you leave a couple of coins, like a couple of quarters, for the river Styx, that kind of thing. A cigar, even rum. Beer was actually invented for the dead, so you can pour beer on a grave, and it's an offering and payment for anything that is there. But you can't just take it and run, because that mojo will follow you, and it's not good.
Right. That's a good tip, though, really. And of course, Sadie Coronado is in the house as well in chat. So, and she said Happy St. Patty's Day, and she said she was back. Her husband called her. So we didn't want to think we were ignoring you. We just been trying to catch up on some comments. We were having a lot of fun at first. So, she said you borrow dirt when you leave. You got it under your shoes. There you go. Yeah. So not like that's a first, but there you go. So there you go, Taylor. Maybe and you could probably even market that some official, cemetery energy. I guess you'd want to put in there. So they pour beer on a grave out. out here, you better have bail money. Oh, all right. So let's move. Let's keep moving forward. What do we want to do? I want to try to contact some more spirits because that's what I said. We're going to try to contact some spirits tonight. So let's try to have some fun here. All right. Well, yeah. Here we go. All right. Okay, spirit guide. Could you please come forward and cross the rods? Let us know that you're still here, please. And please cross the rods. Okay, thank you for that. Can you please straighten the rods out, please? Okay. B3 Air Spirits. Hey there. The monks made mead yum yum. Honey beer.
Yeah, I make that. I still got some in my fridge.
Nice. So, do you like to make your own mead?
Yeah, well, mead is like scotch. It tastes really good when you at the harvest time, and then if you don't use it, it keeps getting stronger and stronger and stronger, and pretty soon it's like, 200 proof. It's just pure alcohol.
Right. All right. So, who do you guys want to contact? We got some people out there. Who do you want to contact? We couldn't get Elvis and we couldn't get St. Patrick himself, although I tried. But do you guys have anybody you want to try to contact? I know Kurz Lake. Did you want to? Were you trying to contact Bernadette or Bernie? Wasn't that your grandmother or something like that? I can't remember. I don't know. I thought we might have tried to do that one before. Guys, I forget sometimes with all the chat and the comments and things like that. It's like I forget sometimes who all we end up talking to. Although Geronimo Coronado, I still always remember that one. Geronimo and Josie, I think it was.
You don't get many of those.
That was definitely unique for sure. Yeah, dancing beer. It's magically delicious. Magical delicious. Yes. Although I don't drink anymore, but that's okay. And it's more of a choice. I don't it's not like I have to stay sober. I mean, I can drink, like if I wanted to. I just really don't ever feel the need to. And I think we had a glass of wine like a year ago or so, maybe. We had a glass of wine at Olive Garden. Yes, my grandparents. Yeah. Would have loved them. Amazing. They were my rock. No, I used to babysit for her. I'd put her jukebox on. Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. And Sadea, that when I was talking about the Florida water, this is what I was talking about. I don't know if you can.
I know. I'm just holding the rods. I know. It's like, my spirit guy's like, okay, what are you going to ask me? Come on, I'm ready. Or what do you want to, chatting. Well, that's what we do here. We're just chatting. So when people see, whoa, hey, where are you going?
Yeah, they want to talk now.
Okay. Let's just find out. Do we have any spirits here in general? Spirit guide, if there's any spirits around that would like to communicate, could you let them come forward, please? And communicate as long as they're positive, please. Like, we want positive spirits here. So is there any spirits that would positive spirits that would like to communicate with us? Please cross the rods, please. Please cross the rods. Okay, thank you for that. Straighten the rods, please. Are you female? Could you please cross the rods for yes? Or push them apart for no, or leave them apart for no? Are you male? Could you please cross the rods for yes? Okay. All right. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Can you please straighten the rods out, please? Straighten them out. Straighten them out, please. Thank you for that. Are you a relative of myself or Terry Lynn? Are you one of our relatives? Could you please cross the rods for yes? Leave a part for no. Okay. Are you a relative of Stacy's? Stacy Talich, who's my co-host. Can you cross the rods for yes? Are you related to anyone watching this video right now? Are they in the chat right now? Are you related to anyone here? Could you please cross the rods for yes? Leave a part for no.
Protect your guides.
I was trying to cover the bases, so
Yeah.
all right. Did you know anybody watching or anybody present for this? Did you know anybody that's watching this dowsing rod session right now? Could you please cross the rods for yes? Did you know any of us, when you were alive? Okay. You're a male. Did you live in the Tennessee area or Southwest Virginia area? Could you please cross the rods for yes or leave a part for no? Okay. All right. So possibly a local death. All right. Can you straighten the rods out, please? Are you over the age of 50? Could you please cross the rods for yes? Are you under the age of 50? Cross the rods for yes. Ooh, thank you for that. Thank you. Please straighten the rods out, please. There you go. Push them back apart. There you go. Now, guys, I know it sounds sometimes obvious when I ask, are you over 50 and then are you under 50? But you really want to make sure you cover all your bases, and you want to ask some specific questions like that if you can, as you try to narrow things down. Are you under the age of 30? Can you please cross the rods for yes? Leave a part for no. Okay. Were you in your 30s when you passed away? Can you please cross the rods for yes? Okay. Were you in your 40s? Can you please cross the rods for yes? Okay. All right, thank you for that. Please straighten the rods out. And I'm not going to waste too much time on narrowing down much more than that. So we know that you're in your 40s. Was you involved in an automobile accident? Did an automobile accident cause your death? Could you please cross the rods for yes, or push apart for no, or just leave them apart if you want. Okay. Did you die of a disease? Can you please cross the rods, like cancer? No.
War.
What?
War.
Did you die in battle? Did you die in any kind of battle or war? Was you a soldier? Can you cross the rods for yes? Okay. Was you murdered? Did someone kill you? Can you please cross the rods for yes? Leave a part for no. Wow. I haven't had too many of those. Okay, can you please straighten the rods out, please? Okay. The person that took your life, were they arrested? Were they arrested? Could you please cross the rods for yes? Okay. Did anyone know who murdered you? Well, that's pretty broad.
Yeah.
Did the person that murdered you, did they ever face any kind of justice? Will you please cross the rods for yes? I'm definitely getting the rods swinging no. Okay. Okay. Do you need help with something? Can you cross the rods for yes? Do you need help? Okay. Did you want to cross over? Cross the rods for yes. Leave apart for no.
Is he looking for peace?
Are you looking for peace? Can you cross the rods for yes? Were you trying to just let your voice be heard? Are you trying to just be heard? Oh, okay. All right.
The person who killed him still alive?
Okay, hold on. We'll ask that. Straighten the rods out, please. You can push the rods back apart. Thank you. Thank you for that. The person that took your life, are they still alive? Can you cross the rods for yes or push apart for no? Well, that might explain why they're not trying to have us solve his murder.
Yeah.
Okay. So you just wanted people to know that you were murdered and the person never faced justice but did pass away. Is okay, let me ask you this. Were you living in the 1900s? Can you cross the rods for yes? Okay, thank you for that. Can you straighten the rods out, please? Okay. Were you alive in between 1950 and the year 2000? You cross the rods for yes? Okay. Were you alive in between 1900 and 1950? Was you alive in between those years? Okay.
Did he live near your house?
Okay. Straighten the rods out, please. Can you push the rods back apart, please? Okay. And did you live at this property or near this property? Can you cross the rods for yes? Leave apart for no? Did you live on the Virginia side? Can you cross the rods for yes? Leave apart for no? Okay. Thank you for that. So this person was on the Virginia side, which is like literally like right up the street.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. Thank you for that. Okay. Do you have any relatives in this area that are still alive? Can you cross the rods for yes? Okay. So still some relatives out there.
Yeah.
Straighten the rods. So this is probably someone's maybe grandma or grandfather, great grandfather, possibly now, maybe even great great grandfather. Really, when you think about it. So if this person died in their 40s, they obviously probably had kids, a family, and they lived in between 1900 and 1950, which puts them. They were probably born in that 1900 to 1920 time frame at least, or
Yeah.
well 1900 1910, because they said they weren't alive from 1950 to 2000, so they had to have died before 1950, and they lived 40 years. Of course, they didn't ask them if they lived in the 1800s. Was you born in the 1800s? Could you please cross the rods for yes? Leave apart for no. Oh wow! So they were born in the 1800s, but lived into the 1900s. So late 1800s. So probably post Civil War, of course.
Yeah, and I was just thinking the Klan was also very prominent at that time too. nationwide, not just in
I
the
don't know
South.
if they had a lot of clan here though in this area. Not sure. Was you 40s. Hmm. So Kerslake is looking to talk to Mark.
Yeah.
And who is Mark again? What's Mark's relationship? I just wanted to make sure because again, you have to remind me if we already. Tanya Williams, love a reading, please. Love reading and how I'm going to master mediumship. Okay, and am I going to master mediumship? Okay, yes, we will definitely get to all of that. Yes, we live right down the street from battlefields. Well, it didn't say he died in battle, and he wasn't a soldier. Were you a soldier or an ex-soldier? Yeah, I'm gonna say he didn't because I know Stacy brought that up, but ooh, that's a good question. Or is your body? Are you buried? Is your body buried at East Hill Cemetery? Could you please cross the rods for yes? I was kind of bummed. I was like hoping maybe. Sorry, I'm not trying to make light of your death. I'm sorry, but I was hoping maybe is hmm, okay. But let's see. Were you buried on the Tennessee side? You crossed the rods for yes. Were you buried in Bristol, Virginia? And cross the rods for yes, please.
May have been cremated.
Were you cremated? Was your remains cremated? Oh, he's moving the rods. No. So he's definitely was like no.
Uh,
Okay. Are you in a marked grave? Is your grave marked? Cross the rods for yeah. Okay, there you go. So all right. So he's in a marked grave. It would be so cool to find this person. I mean, straighten the rods out, please. Okay. All right. So I'm going to end this session so we can move forward. This has been a great talk. Thank you so much for coming forward. We really appreciate your story and, God bless. And, but now it's time for you to go back where you came from. Thank you. Ooh. Wow, a lot of energy on that one. Like just overall, just by the time that was a long session. So that's really cool. I love talking to random spirits like that, like spirits that want to come through and just talk and share their story. And that's what I find. A lot of spirits don't always want help with anything. People always think that they want help, but that's not always the case. A lot of times they just want to be heard. I don't know if it's maybe they're lonely or something, or I don't know, but they just they want things to be told. And that's pretty cool. I really enjoyed that. And Terry Lynn had some good. I didn't even think about the East Hill thing, and it sucks because I was really hoping he would say yes, because then it's like, okay, well, let's go see who was buried around. Maybe we can zero in even more toward his death. But I try not to get too specific unless we really start honing in, and we had quite a bit of energy even toward the end there. So whoever it wasn't really petering out of energy. I do have water and things like that in here too. So
yeah.
okay, so sorry about that, guys. I don't know who's still around. I know we had some requests. Kerslake, we're looking for Mark, and I know Tanya wanted a love reading.
Mark is a friend who passed and whether it was an accident.
Oh yeah. Didn't we do that before?
Yeah, I thought we did that before.
Didn't we ask about that, or I think we did the verification about the car, the vehicle, maybe I think. But was there Kerslake, if there's something that B3 for that was so cool. Thank you. Yeah, that was cool. I really enjoyed that. I love talking to spirits like that sometimes. So Kerr's like, if you was his body ever found? Well, we did find out he was in a marked grave, so that kind of answers that. So sorry if Stacy doesn't kind of read the questions out loud. I don't always see them. I try to look over, but a lot of times I'm kind of focused on just holding the rods and just like letting the rods do the talking. So
she literally asked at the same time that you asked whether it was a marked grave. So I mean, it was you guys synced up at the exact same time.
Stacy, would a spray one work too? Found one on Etsy.
Yeah, no, go to Amazon. This stuff that is right here. You can get on Amazon. They sell it by one at a time or by the case. It's up to you what you want to do.
Okay, so let's look at Tanya Williams. Hopefully she's still here. Tanya, love reading, please. All right, so Tanya, are you looking for a love reading for a future relationship or a current relationship? That always helps. So Tanya, her future, okay. All right. So Tanya Williams would like to know about future love relationships. All right. There we go. Okay. I'm seeing this one and this one right there. Okay, so we've got the World and we have the Ace of Swords. So what's really nice about the World, especially when it comes to future relationship stuff, and I will just kind of explain this to you right here. But this here, so this represents the ending of a cycle, but preparing for a new and repeating this journey. It's showing us that life is always changing and that we're meant to build on our experiences. So in this ending is another beginning. So fulfillment, completion, conclusion, the sum of your efforts and success. But I'm going to talk about this and how this means for a future relationship. And we have the clarifier, which is the Ace of Swords. Now, the Ace of Swords is it's basically time to decide, consider a new way of thinking regarding a situation or relationship. So that's pretty cool. You got a relationship clarifier. So what this is telling me, Tanya, seriously, is that you are at the end of old stuff. In other words, if you have any exes out there, or if you're thinking about any old relationships, or if you just got done with one recently, this is basically saying you're done with that. Okay. Now it's time for a fresh new start, a new cycle of life, a new relationship coming up. And the Ace of Swords, which is talking about a new way of thinking. So in other words, be open to, you're going to probably meet somebody soon, and it might not be the normal person that like you might be attracted to, or it could be somebody that you're not, again, like the normal person that you would find attractive or whatever, in that sense. But be open-minded, be ready for that, and approach that with a new way of thinking. In other words, explore that option. If you come across that individual that, again, maybe normally you might not give that person a chance. I was kind of like that with my wife. When Tara Lynn and I met, I wasn't her stereotypical guy that she would typically go out with. But there was a reason for that. And in the end, we found that we were soulmates. Mm-hmm. So I think this is telling you that there's someone out there coming along that may very well be that soulmate, but you're going to have to break that barrier of sort of like the old way of the relationships, the ones that you kind of would, be attracted to. So I hope that makes sense. And I hope that
Leave
helps.
the bad boys alone. The bad boys are bad.
So I hope that helps. Okay. We don't know whether he meant to do it or slipped. What about me mastering mediumship? Yes, you will master mediumship. I can find out real quick, and then we're gonna do a Dowsing Rod session for Kerrs Lake. I just start calling you Kerrs Lake now because I know how to say that for sure. I'm not always. I don't know if it's Nicola, like, why could it just be Nikki or something, right? Nikki Kerrs Lake. There you go.
Like a cough drop.
What? I got a stomp text. What happened? What? I don't know. Hold on.
Nicola.
All right. So quit calling her Kerrs Lake. What's her first name? I know but that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm bad about that. Like, because
She goes by Nikki. There you go.
All right. So there you go, Terry Lynn. She goes by Nikki. So Terry Lynn was kind of getting mad because I was calling her Kerrs Lake all the time. Girls don't like being called by their last name, I don't think. Guys do it all the time. Or, we have that thing sometimes, a lot of us don't mind it, but yeah. All right. So we're going to do one more thing for Tanya real quick. Tanya, we're going to ask tarot a yes, no on mediumship.
Be careful what you ask for.
What?
Being a master of mediumship. It's huge. It's like being a master of any of martial arts or anything like that. It takes a lot of discipline.
Okay. So, Tarot, could you please let Tanya Williams know, will she master mediumship? Okay. Bigfoot and on. Hey, what's up? It's good to see you. We've been having some fun contacting some spirits. We're about to try to contact some more here in a second. All right. So we're going to do this. This is how I'm feeling right here. Okay. So we have a no, and a yes. So overall, now remember, and this is just like what Stacy is saying, mastering something is extremely difficult. It doesn't mean that you won't be good at it. So just keep that in mind. Yeah. Now, the one yes, okay, the one chance that you can master it is the Nine of Pentacles. We're going to look at that. That way, if you want to know the path to potentially mastering it, this is what you're going to need to know. Okay? So, the Nine of Pentacles is focus on your purpose and use it to attain the wealth you desire. Be your best to earn the most. It's also financial independence and empowerment. So, again, there is that potential, but you're going to want to take it to that another level, possibly financial, like, financial gain. I know it sometimes sounds bad, like, well, mediums, and things like that, but a lot of psychics, tarot readers, even myself, right? Sometimes you get tips, you get paid, but this is saying, like, if you really want to master it, you're going to have to take it serious and may even have to make it into a business. Yeah. If you really want to master it. If it's a side hobby, that's probably what the no's are. If it's just like a something on the side, chances are you're probably not going to master it. You might get good at it, but you won't master it. The only way you're going to probably truly master it is to make it into an actual business.
Yeah, it's not like TV where all you have to have is big boobs in order to master mediumship. You have to actually, work at it and develop a relationship with the dead.
Hey, I see you. Hey, it's good to see you in there. So we got Bigfoot and on and ICU pop in. Okay, so now I think you're also most told my ancestors that I would also have a mentor. Well, I mean, and that's what Stacy and I do. Like, we mentor people. I more so mentor people, and even my wife, like, believe it or not, even though my wife's not on here, she is always available to guide people in certain things as well. We're always trying to master our own issues and our own techniques and our own things. I'm trying to master more tarot. I'm trying to, the dowsing rods I've been doing for a few years. I'm always trying to do good with that. Ghost hunting in general, paranormal filming, these are all things that I can help with. Whereas Stacy has his set of skills and all the things that he does and remote viewing and even prepping and all kinds of fun stuff. He's got all kinds of cool other things, which you can find on Udemy, and the links in the comments below. See, I already plugged you, Stacy. I fit that right in there.
Awesome segue. Yeah, I got courses directly dealing with mediumship, with holding seances and developing your mediumship skills. I got courses on that. So, and they're cheap. It's not like you have to go out and, like some of these other places, spend thousands of dollars and you don't get anywhere. This is, I think the most you'll pay is like $20. So, it's cheap in as far as that's concerned, but it's inexpensive. It's not cheap. I'll put it that way.
Right. And I just want to personally throw out there too, real quick, that so I took Stacy's remote viewing course. I didn't fully finish it, but I want to explain this. So I got to a point in the course where I was like really busy. Guys, I'm really pressed for time, most of the time. And I really wanted to give remote viewing a full chance of, like, I really wanted good focus. And so I didn't want to do disservice. However, I will say that the amount of the course that I took, it truly helped me to connect to the universe, I guess you'd say, plugging into that bigger picture. And that's really when I started noticing my sensitivities and my connections with eventually a spirit guide and things like that. That really helped kick that off for me. In all honesty, it was kind of an eye opener in that sense. And it was like, oh, wow, there's this whole thing to plug into. So guys, even sometimes when you may not finish a course, there's so much beneficial things. And I'm just speaking from experience on that.
And you have it for life too. Josh, you can go back and take that course. As long as Udemy is still in existence, the course is going to be there for you. Once you got it, you got it. It doesn't expire. So.
Right. And that's what I like. It's always been kind of a do at your own pace. So it's awesome. So you guys look into that for sure. Let's see, B3 experience. We had some brats and German kraut, and of course beer. Nice. I've only been in class for 3 days, and I've already connected to spirit and gave an accurate reading. I have never done it or even practiced. So I don't know what class you're taking, but honestly, no matter what, you really want to check out Stacy's class. It never hurts. You never want to just do like one thing and then just say, oh, I took that class. Like, I always am trying to find more and more materials, and I'll research all kinds of stuff. And sometimes I'll find where, like, there'll be some instructors that's like, okay, I've already kind of learned everything that they learn. Sometimes it's like, well, I probably could teach them, some things. And then there's going to be times where, like, oh yeah, like that makes sense. Oh, I never thought about it that way. And you're going to learn some things for sure. I was always told from some of the super, super successful people, there was one thing that stood out to me, which was no matter what this person did, they were like a freaking millionaire multiple times over. But one of the big pieces of advice that they said is anything they did, any meetings they went to, classes they took, anything that their company sent them to back in the day, they always tried to walk away with at least one new piece of knowledge. Mm-hmm. And even if it wasn't about the subject, if they knew everything about the subject that was being taught, they always tried to find a way to learn something, as in maybe it was the way the instructor talked, maybe it's an inflection in their voice, maybe it was, a way a class was conducted. always something, trying to always learn something. So don't give up on that. All right. So I want to move forward. I don't want to get stuck too much because I know, Nikki has been waiting for us to try to talk to Mark again. And Nikki, if you're still around, definitely pop in there. Let us know what did you want to find out from Mark again? Because I know we asked a little bit about him, but
wanted to know whether his death was accidental or on purpose.
Right. I thought we asked that before, but we can always ask. I mean, we can always ask again. I have no problems. Okay, so let's go back to a little more of a dowsing rod view here. Spirit guide, could you please come forward across the rods? Let us know that you're here, please. Thank you so much for that. Can you please straighten the rods back out? Thank you. And I just wanted to ask you, my friend, is the spirit we're talking to earlier, did he go back where he came from? Can you please cross the rods and confirm that? Okay. All right. Thank you for that. Just wanted to make sure we cleared the last session. All right. Thank you for that. All right. Spirit guide. Nikki Kerslake was trying to find her friend Mark again. We had found him before. Could you find him again and bring him forward? Mark, if you're here, could you please cross the rods and let us know you're here? Nikki would like to communicate. Mark, are you here? Okay, we have Mark. All right. Thank you for that, Mark. And could you please straighten the rods out? There you go. Push the rods straight. There you go. Now, Mark, Nikki was wondering, was your death an accident? Was it an accident? Could you please cross the rods? And could you please cross the rods, please? Let us know for sure. Okay. Sorry, the rods touch. I had one arm a little too even. But yes, he did cross the rods. Can you please straighten the rods, please? Please straighten the rods. Mark, and once again, I want to ask you, and I know this may be difficult, but you're doing such a good job. Could you please confirm, was your death an accident? Could you please confirm that? Cross the rods for yes. Okay. All right. Thank you for that. And can you please straighten the rods back out? Thank you. And with your death being an accident, were you at fault? Was it your fault, Mark, that you passed away? Was it your actions?
He was scared of the water.
And you cross the rods for yes, please. Well, he's saying it wasn't his fault directly. And I'm just going to ask this, Mark, was there anybody else that caused your accident? Can you cross the rods for yes?
Did he jump in?
Did you jump in? Can you cross the rods for yes? Did you jump in? I'm assuming the water. Did you jump in the water? Can you cross the rods for yes?
Did he slip?
He's saying he jumped in. Can you straighten the rods out, Mark? Thank you so much. Straighten the rods out, please. Mark, did you slip and fall in the water? Can you cross the rods for yes? Okay, he seems to be moving the rods, indicating no, he didn't slip, that he jumped in. Well, did you jump in for fun? Did you jump in the water for fun? Can you cross the rods for yes? He's saying it was for fun. I don't know if that makes any sense. I have no idea. I'm just asking the questions. Can you straighten the rods out? What is Nikki saying?
He was in her house the day before.
We were told he jumped.
Someone said he slept. She didn't know the difference, which one was which.
He was in my house before. Ooh. He's confused. That's what Terry Lynn said. I think he's confused. Confused about what? What are you thinking he's confused about?
The dead don't always remember how they died, if it was traumatic. Don't want to come to terms with it, that sort of thing.
Okay. Mark, you keep saying to cross the rods for yes. Well, yeah, I mean, he was supposed to have shouted for help. He wasn't in a good place. Mark, did you... Let's see. When you jumped in, did you know how to swim? Did you know how to swim? Can you cross the rods for yes? Is that true? Did he know how to swim? He's saying he did.
Mm.
Can you straighten the rods out, please?
She asked, has he visited her?
Okay. You straighten the rods out. Mark, have you visited Nikki? Can you cross the rods for yes or leave them apart for no? Yes, honey. Can you cross the rods for yes or leave them apart for no? Have you visited Nikki since you passed? Okay. All right. So, is there anything else that you would like to know, Nikki? Mark, I definitely want to tell you thank you so much for coming forward and communicating. I know Nikki may have a question or she may have a message for you. Did you have a message that you needed to pass on to Nikki? Do you pick up on a sense of humor at all? I'm not really picking up on a whole lot. Terry Lynn said that he seemed a little confused, maybe. Sometimes confusion, sorrow, some of those things kind of go sometimes hand in hand. It's just possible he may be a little sad. Mark, are you happy where you're at right now? Was a funny guy. Let me ask you, are you at peace where you're at right now? Can you cross the rods for yes or leave apart for no, please? Are you at peace where you're at? Can you cross the rods for yes? Okay, so he is crossing them. So he is at some kind of peace where he's at.
Yeah.
Straighten the rods, please. Straighten the rods. There you go. And Mark, do you regret jumping in the water? Can you cross the rods for yes? And or leave the rods for no? Do you regret jumping in the water? You cross the rods for yes, leave a part for no. Well, and that may be where his sorrow or even confusion, that feeling may come from. Thank you, Mark, for straightening the rods. But yeah, Terry Lynn, the only reason why I didn't really go into the verification is just because I had my spirit guide get them. I didn't kind of reach out to the nether to get them. I kind of asked the spirit guide to go and get them. But we also confirmed last time that it was him when she asked about his car. So I feel like it was probably the same person. But she says getting a weird feeling. All right. So, all right, Mark, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to end the session right now. We're going to end the communication session. So if you could please go back, or not if you could, but please go back where you came from right now. And thank you so much for coming forward. Ooh, all right. So I don't know. Terry Lynn's picking up on confusion and weird feelings. So I'm not sure what that interprets on that. I don't want to discount her feeling on that.
Terry, cleanse yourself. Use the flower water to break the connection.
Huh?
Have Terry Lynn use the flower water to break the connection.
Well, she was talking about a weird feeling. I don't know if she was just picking that up from that or. I mean, it makes sense. I was feeling myself. I was feeling a little more regret. That's why I wanted to ask that question about that. But again, I don't know if it's just a mixture of feelings that Mark is having. He's at peace, but I don't know what kind of peace that is. Like if it's just like he's not tormented or something. So if he's at peace, but he didn't seem to be happy.
Mm-hmm.
So he's probably at that comfortable numb stage maybe or something. I don't know. Like it's not happiness. It's not tormented. It's just, I guess, at peace. But it seemed like he might have regrets for what happened. So I don't know if those are the feelings that Terry Lynn's picking up on, is just that oddness of that existence, being there. Because sometimes we have some spirits that seem to be fairly happy and comfortable where they're at. And then some not so happy, and some that's in that weird, somber, but yet at peace thing. So probably as he left his boys behind, and possibly.
Well, if he's still around, he hasn't left them behind. He just hasn't moved on. And, watching over him.
Yeah, and and I hope it really was him. I usually don't doubt too much of the identities of the spirits when I have a spirit guide go get them. If my spirit guide doesn't get them and I just ask for spirits to come forward, then sometimes, I don't know for sure 100%, but, usually with a spirit guide, they're able to see and retrieve people that we can't see and, verify. So they're kind of in that, as Stacy's like talks about, it's kind of like that zeitgeist or that spiritual world of knowledge and universe information. So,
Yeah, we're all plugged into it. We may think that we're an island to ourselves, but we're actually streaming everything. That's why when war breaks out, everybody starts to get really tense, even if they don't even know why. People start getting agitated.
oh yeah. Now, did I miss anything when we were doing all that stuff?
I don't think so.
I had a thing like a mirror come on my wall. It looked like his face when he was still missing. Hey, you never know. I mean, I know like Terry Lynn, you remember, I think when we did that antique mall investigation, I think there was like a mirror. Remember like the mirror that had like the older gentleman with like a beard was like, it looked like that in the mirror. Remember, didn't we see that over toward that one corner where the dark shadow was? Not the shadow going back and forth, but that dark shadow that came at you and the owner out of that one corner. But wasn't there like a mirror that had like, it almost looked like a face in it? It was pretty wild. But
there's superstitions with mirrors in catching spirits. And people used to have funerals in their homes all the time. They would cover the mirrors because it would act like a trap where
right.
that person wouldn't be able to get out. They would get stuck in the mirror. And a lot of the famous haunting places usually have a face that seems to be burned right into the mirror, like the Myrtles Plantation in Louisiana. That one, supposed to be the most haunted B&B in America kind of thing. But they have a mirror that's been there since, the Civil War, or since before the Civil War. They've got faces, embedded in the mirror that just, don't go away. They've replaced the back of the mirror, all this other kind of stuff, and it just keeps coming back. So,
yeah,
came up glowing. Well, it may have been something that you were only allowed to see as well.
All right. So I didn't know, like I said, I didn't know if I missed anything else when there was, sometimes when I get doing that, I don't know if we missed any other requests or anything. I think we may have been caught up on those requests and whatnot. So yeah, man. So I think we've had some pretty good stuff in the show tonight. I'm pretty happy with everything. We didn't get St.Patrick on the phone, so to speak,
Elvis.
or Elvis. I tried to get Elvis Aaron Presley on the show. Changed to 2 A's. Elvis double A Aaron.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not a conspiracy. People are like, his tomb got 2 A's instead of the 1, like on his birth certificate. But he's always said that he wanted to have 2 A's. So his parents wasn't very good spellers, and so his dad admitted that, and so he wanted to have 2 A's. So on his official tombstone, they gave him 2 A's for his middle name. And he even on his divorce documents for Priscilla, he used 2 A's. So no big conspiracy there. I do think Elvis did pass away. There was always a lot of the Elvis sightings and things like that. But I don't know. In this case, I do think that he, unfortunately, with his lifestyle, you could see his weight gain and, unfortunately, just caught up to him, Is Elvis really dead? Yeah, I mean, Terry Lynn, I mean, again, that's kind of what I was just talking about, right? But you're right. There's always that possibility, honey. He'd
be like 106 right now.
Yeah, I mean, maybe, he's probably dead now, but I mean, I guess, like, was he alive past the time they said he was dead? So I guess that's really what you'd have to say is, like, did he stay alive longer than what they said? And there's
Or did we return to his home planet? You know, they did that in Men in Black. He just returned home.
right. Well, and I know Terry Lynn and I were talking about this the other night, and it was like we were talking about really we were thinking back to all the entertainers. And when you really, I'm talking like if you're honest with yourself and you really look at entertainers that could capture the audience in such an elevated, just such a whole nother level, there's only two people I can think of, and that was Elvis and Michael Jackson. I mean, Michael Jackson could just come on stage and literally stand there like at the Super Bowl, like when he did that, and he just stood there and people were like losing their minds, and he was just standing there and like for such a long time. And he always had that presence when he was out there, like Elvis. When you look at even in his later days, in his jumpsuit, gaining some weight days, singing Unchained Melody, starting to drip sweat and barely can speak. He's stuttering in the microphone. Women were still like just going nuts. The audience in general. I mean, out of all the entertainers, again, now, like I said, you had your superstars like your Justin Biebers and even Bruno Mars and certain people that are really good and really have a lot of fans and fandom. Even the Beatles, but I don't know. I would say the Beatles might be up there as a group, but as individuals, one person, I would say Elvis and Michael. What do you think, Stacey? You got any opinions on that?
No, I mean that's why they were named the Kings. You got the King of Rock and the King of Pop. They were unto themselves a thing.
Yeah, it says, do you think Michael believed in this sort of thing?
Absolutely. He admitted to it many times. So did Prince.
Yeah, that's sad there. I still, and you could dive into the conspiracy theories on some of these deaths. There's a lot of things that seem to be mysterious. And like Prince, was alone in this elevator, like this heroin, possible, whatever. I don't know, man. It's some of these are really mysterious, like some of these deaths.
It was almost like he planned. If you ever listened to Kevin Smith talk about his experience with Prince?
No. Because I don't like Kevin Smith half the time.
Yeah, well, he's kind of an a-hole.
Sometimes I like him, and then sometimes I'm like, dude, come on, man. Like, you're being a shill,
Yeah. Since he's had his heart attack, it's gone way that way. Kevin Smith, not getting into that. Before he had his heart attack, when he was all fat, he was more, likable. He was more comfortable in his own skin. But he was talking about his experience with Prince, and he did this speech before Prince died.
Right.
Basically, he was asked by Prince. They met at a dinner party or something like that, and Prince asked him to, do a documentary on him. And Kevin Smith was in awe. He thought Prince was like, oh, he just couldn't get over the hero worship, and went all out on doing a documentary, filming literally hundreds of hours of Prince, him talking to kids, him talking to the camera, all this other kind of stuff to, try and get a full picture of what it is to be Prince. And he got ready to put it and start the editing of it. And Prince says, no, that's okay. We'll just take the film and we'll put it in my vault. And he's like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, we'll work on it later. Right now we're just accumulating, over a period of time. And he spent hours. Prince paid him to do this. It wasn't like, it was volunteer.
Right.
He gave him a pile of money to do this, and then just took all the film and put it in his vault. And it was like he knew something eventually was going to happen because of Elvis and Michael Jackson and even George Michael's. When you die, all of your stuff suddenly becomes way more valuable.
Right.
So like creating this, life insurance kind of thing for whoever it is owns his estate.
Right.
Come out with a after Prince's death film probably pretty soon, because they have hundreds of hours of Kevin Smith documenting this stuff. But Kevin Smith is like, freaked out about it. What this kind of planning ahead for your own death, and then he turns around and drops dead right after that.
Well, Terry Lynn was asking if Marilyn Monroe was murdered, and Nikki was saying, "Did Michael believe in this sort of thing?" Which, of course, you said yes. And ICU was talking about she was wondering if Billy the Kid escaped. And so, you know what? I have an idea. I think Terry Lynn, it's good. She also said, was it a suicide or accidental overdose? You know what? Let's do a Dowsing Rod session. Let's see if we can find out some answers. Why not? We're having fun at St. Patrick's Day. All right, guys. So let's find out your questions. And if you have other ones that pop in there, hey, fire away, man. We'll just ask. What the hell? Why not? We'll just go for broke. And if tomorrow Terry Lynn and I end up missing, then the government came and got us. All right. So
got to do Norma Jean, not Marilyn Monroe.
Well, All right. I'm pretty sure the cosmic spirits get it. All right. Mm-hmm. So, Spirit Guide, could you please come forward and cross the rods? Let us know you're here, please. Cross the rods. Let us know. Thank you. All right. Straighten the rods, please. And Spirit Guide, can yourself or another spirit, positive spirit, come forward that can answer questions regarding some of the mysteries of some celebrities that passed away in the past? Could you please come forward? Cross the rods. Let us know if you can answer those, please. Cross the rods. Let us know. Okay. We got a good rod cross. Mm-hmm. Thank you. So straighten the rods, please. Okay. So we'll start at the top. Did Elvis, and this is Terry Lynn's first, kind of thing, did Elvis really die in 1977? Can you please cross the rods and let us know yes or no? Okay.
Yeah.
We got a yes. Okay. Can you please straighten the rods, please?
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
That was good. All right, thank you. Straighten the rods, please. Okay. Billy the Kid. All right. The old Western gunslinger youth, right? Billy the Kid. Could you please let us know, was he really shot? Wait, who was it? Oh my God. Who was the guy that was supposedly shot him? What was his name? Wade? Was it Jarrett? Oh, what the hell was his name? Wade Jarrett? Do you remember? Does anybody remember? Who was the one that supposedly shot Billy the Kid? Was it Wade Jarrett? I can't remember. Garrett, or maybe? I can ask the spirits, but if you guys know, please let me know. Oh man, I can't move. Hold on. I'm gonna move my mouse. So here we go. All right. Okay, let me refocus here. Okay, spirits, was Billy the Kid shot as we know it in history? Was he shot by, was it Garrett?
Garrett.
Could you please cross the rods for yes? Okay, the spirits are saying he was shot by Garrett. Okay, Thank you for that. Okay, I got one on this real quick before we move on. Did Billy the Kid survive being shot by Garrett? Could you please cross the rods for yes? Pat Garrett. Oh, the rods are saying yes, he did survive the shot. Interesting. Okay. Straighten the rods, please. Huh. That's interesting. Okay. And thank you for that, Terry Lynn. Pat Garrett. That's right, Pat Garrett. I knew it was like Garrett or something. I was trying to remember. I'm like, Garrett or whatever. It's been a while. I watched the movie. Young Guns, man. Emilio Estevez. All right. What's next? Michael
Marilyn
Jackson,
Monroe.
I believe Marilyn Monroe, Norma Jean. So, could you let us know was Marilyn Monroe, aka or Norma Jean, aka Marilyn Monroe, was she murdered? Can you please cross the rods for yes? Or leave apart for no, please? Or you can even push the rods apart for no. Okay. Did she commit suicide? Could you please cross the rods for yes? Leave apart for no? Okay. Or did she pass away from a drug overdose? Could you please cross the rods for yes? Leave apart for no?
I don't think they know.
Did she have a medical reaction that caused her to pass away? So medical reaction. So maybe it was a combination of drugs and having a medical reaction or something,
Yeah.
So medical reaction.
She may have not overdosed, but gotten a new prescription or something like that.
Straighten the rods out. Okay, thank you for that. Was her death accidental? Can you cross the rods for yes? Okay. All right. So they're saying it was an accident. So she had some kind of reaction, Or leave them apart for no. You're killing me, honey. I think they know. I don't have to say it every time. Like, kind of the thing, but I love you, honey. I know she's trying to get at me about being specific. All right. So I'm asking all your questions. All right. So let's see. Princess Diana. Okay, so spirits, could you let us know, was Princess Diana, was she murdered? Can you please cross the rods for yes? Leave apart for no? Did Princess Diana, did she die in the automobile accident? Was it an accident? Can you please cross the rods for yes? Leave apart for no? Okay, they're saying it was an accident. Okay, can you straighten the rods, please? Straighten the rods back out. Straighten the rods, please. There you go. Push them forward. There you go. Okay. Was her accident, was it caused by the paparazzi? Was it caused by a member of the paparazzi? Can you cross the rods for yes? Can you leave apart for no? Okay. So her accident was an accident, but it was caused by a member of the paparazzi. That's what they're saying. So can you straighten the rods back out? Terry Lynn said she was killed by the paparazzi. Well, they just said that her accident was caused by the paparazzi, a member of the paparazzi. Okay, am I missing anything else? Did I miss one? I know we had a few different ones, but
Was she pregnant at the time?
ooh, was Princess Diane, was she pregnant at the time of her death? Was she pregnant? Can you please cross the rods for yes? Leave a part for no. I'm getting my one rod is definitely indicating no.
Mhm.
Didn't mean to press heart. That's a good question. Okay. All right. Did someone plant the drugs that caused her death? Oh, like for the
Monroe.
Marilyn Monroe. Sorry, I was trying to keep up with the questions, honey. I didn't know. Obviously, it was a medical reaction, but okay, spirits. If we could go back to Norma Jean, aka Marilyn Monroe. Um, you said that she had passed away from a bad reaction or like a medical reaction. Was this a reaction to the drugs that she was taking at the time? Could you please? Okay, so yes, they are confirming that. Okay, could you please straighten the rods, please? Okay, straighten the rods. And did someone intentionally give her drugs that would have a bad reaction for her? You please cross the rods for yes or leave them apart for no. Okay. So yeah, I guess they're saying that it wasn't anything like that. So she genuinely just had a bad reaction to whatever drug she was taking. And that could be like that could probably mean like an overdose, really. I mean, it could be the way of spirit saying that without, like we did ask specifically overdose, but she may have just had too many drugs and her body reacted badly.
Yeah. An allergic reaction happened more frequently back in those times than they do now. Because they track stuff.
Well, whatever I said, the spirits definitely said no because they pushed apart the rods. Look at this.
Yeah, it had nothing to do with the drugs then. It was a bad reaction to what she had.
Right. Okay, you can straighten the rods out, please. Straighten the rods. Straighten the rods, please. Okay. There. Straighten them out. There you go. All right. And did Oswald shoot JFK? Was he one of the actual shooters? Can you
Harvey Lee
please,
Oswald.
huh? Lee Harvey Oswald is he one of the shooters for John F. Kennedy? You please cross the rods for yes. Okay. Thank you. Can you straighten the rods out, please? Joy asked for, or Jay or Joy, I can't read from here. Asked for a reading. Yes, you can have a reading for sure. And one last thing, was there more than one shooter for the John F. Kennedy assassination? Could you please cross the rods for yes? All right. All right. So can you please straighten the rods, please? All right. Jay, is it Jay? I can't read from here. My vision, or is it Joy? I am Gemini and he is Scorpio. His feelings and future of the connection. Okay, and one last thing.
Question?
Huh?
Is this a relationship question I'm taking?
Yeah, that's what it looks like. So real quick before we end the session, we got just a few more little things. Is JFK still alive? Can you cross the rods for yes or leave him apart for no? Or will they keep him alive after his assassination? Can you cross the rods for yes and apart for no? Okay, so no, he did die in the assassination apparently. And how many shooters were there? Were there only two shooters? Can you cross the rods for yes? Were there 3 shooters? Can you cross the rods for yes or leave a part for no?
3 shooters.
I don't know. How about 4? Were there 4 shooters? So there was 4 shooters. And can you please straighten the rods out, please?
Somebody missed.
Straighten the rods out, please. Did all 4 shooters? Did they all take a shot at the president? Can you cross the rods for yes? Did all 4 shoot at the president, at John F. Kennedy? Cross the rods for yes or leave a part for no. So not all 4 shot. So there was 4 shooters that were supposedly present. I guess they really were covering their bases, huh?
Yeah.
So there was 4 shooters. Did 3 of the shooters shoot at the president? You cross the rods for yes. Okay. Did 2 of the shooters shoot at the president? Okay. So they're saying 2 of the 4 shooters actually took shots at the John F. Kennedy, and 2 of them didn't get shots off.
Mm.
That's interesting. All right. So straighten the rods out, please. All right. Okay, so I'm going to end this session. Thank you so much for communicating. If you're not my spirit guide, please go back to where you came from. And thank you so much for communicating with us. I'm going to end that session right here. So that way we're going to get to Jay. We're going to get to his reading as well. But guys, that was really cool. I just thought it was fascinating since you guys were asking. And Terry Lynn's like, hey, what's up? So Terry Lynn, you guys can all thank Terry Lynn for that idea of asking about some historical mysteries. Why not? I mean, who knows? So we'll just see what the spirits say. All right. And so Jay wants to know if I am Gemini and he is Scorpio, his feelings and future of the connection. Okay. So Jay wants to know about his relationship right now with his Scorpio, or I don't know if Jay's a he or she. But the Scorpio, the significant other is a Scorpio and wants to know what the feelings and the future of the connection is. So Tara, if you could please let us know that. I'm going to let me clear the energy. I'm going to ask again. I almost forgot about the clearing the energy. Sometimes I get ahead of myself. All right. Let's get a good shuffle in here again. Tara, if you could please let us know about Jay and his significant other or their significant other, that's a Scorpio, and the feelings and the connection of their relationship in the future here. All right. Thank you so much. Okay. Let's go. Right here. These are the 2.
Got to switch the screen.
Oh, yeah. Got to go to the tarot screen. Here we go.
There you go.
All right. We have the 5 of Wands, and we have the 6 of Cups. So, this is good. We're going to talk. We're going to talk about this. Okay, Jay? So, the 5 of Wands, I'm going to let you know right now. And I like to go to the technical stuff for you. The technical thing, it means that there's conflict and competition are necessary to keep moving forward. So there's conflict and or competition. However, there's a clarifier, okay? So don't panic. I know that might sound a little weird, but hold on. So the 6 of Cups, this is like really doing memories and things. And I'm going to read to you the official, so you don't have to just take my full word for it. But I'm going to tell you my intuition, of course. The 6 of Cups is reach out to someone that you care about and share a memory or create a new one. So this is about happy memories, a positive legacy of your childhood, things like that. So, okay. So I don't know your situation with your Scorpio. Okay. But I can tell you what tarot is saying is that you may have a little competition. There could be somebody out there eyeing your Scorpio,
Mhm.
but don't fret. This is also clarifying and saying, listen, the biggest thing is share your connections with this person, maybe create some new memories, talk about maybe your childhood if you haven't really opened up too much about your childhood, maybe even talk about theirs or be open to listen to theirs. But through that, through creating those memories or sharing those memories, you're going to create new ones, or look for that possibility of making new ones. But this is saying for sure reach out to that individual. And again, that's why we have a clarifier, because this if we just went by this, it would say, hey, you got somebody competing for your territory. But at the same time, there's this positive clarifier saying, don't worry about it. Look, just create some new memories, reach out there. And so this is telling me that, yes, you have a good relationship with this individual. If you make those connections with that person, you have to open up to that person too. I don't know if that makes sense. This is what I'm feeling. So you might be holding back some things. Maybe you're afraid to get too emotionally attached to that person, and it might be hindering your relationship. And because that's why you're getting this card saying, yeah, there's some competition out there. So open yourself up, make that personal connection, and that's going to help. All right. So not territory, interest. Well, you know what I mean, honey. I'm not saying territory. You know what I'm saying. Like this is how guys are. That's how I my territory. I don't know.
Yeah, guys
But
are always marking their territory. So
right, so it's hard for me to just speak in all the feminine terms. But I think hopefully Jay understands what I mean, and I hope that reading makes sense to him. I'm just going by what tarot is saying, the cards that we pulled, and what I'm getting from that, my intuition. So something tells me that Jay might be holding back a little bit of some personal. Maybe he doesn't want to fully invest in. Sometimes people do that. They don't always open up all the way. They're kind of nervous. They got their walls up, and the relationship's going okay. But sometimes to get to that deeper level, you just have to open up the floodgates a little more with the personal inner feelings.
yeah. Well,
So
I mean,
Terrylin's like, I am not your territory, but like, yeah, you are. I pay on you. I pay on you. I'm just kidding. It costs me everything. Every paycheck I make.
Geminis are, by their very nature, a little schizophrenic. So that side of things is probably not doing you very well with a Scorpio, because they don't deal well with people who aren't the same all the time. They're all about stability and consistency. So you might want to watch that about yourself if you got that going on. The from 1 minute to the next, from one emotion to the next, just like flipping a switch where you're like, damn near schizophrenic. And
Jay, if you're looking at enhancing this relationship on another level, not only you don't have to just follow the tarot advice and the guide. Stacy has some alternative options that you may be interested in. So you could always message us and we can look at some alternate options. Stacy, you want to kind of fill them in on some other options here?
Yeah, love spells, being able to, solidify a relationship through, conjuring and, yeah, I hate the term witchcraft, but it's what people most likely know. But love spells are one of my specialties. They really are, because they're, it's almost down to a science. So if you're needing something where you're not quite sure, you want to take it to the next level and don't want to be, you're waiting for the other person to actually commit, then get them to commit. And love spells work great for that.
Yeah, and if you would like to find out about a love spell, again, message us. Was Jay through Facebook or YouTube? He was through YouTube. So certainly, again, you can always, if you have Facebook, you could always reach us out. Go to the Everything Paranormal Show or BeyondDeVeil. Look for those. And on Facebook, you can always reach us through Messenger. You can find me on Messenger, Josh Morris, and you'll see my dark picture there. But either way, you can always message us. Or, again, if you're interested, again, if you want to reach out even in comments or something, you can leave a comment in here, and we can always try to look at talking with you privately, or you can email. In fact, I didn't really put it up today. But if, like, normally I kind of have this scrolling, this is kind of normally when we're doing, like, actual requests for, like, Dowsing Rods and tarot sessions, where tonight was more of, like, paranormal show, which I wanted to do a lot of spirit sessions anyways. But, of course, on here you can see we have a Gmail, everythingparanormalshow@gmail.com. So if you want to reach us through email and contact us, we can work something out with you. All right, so I hope that helped. Jay hasn't responded to anything in chat, so I hope he didn't just leave earlier, like when we kept on. But I hope he rewatches this. If he's not here, then I hope all that helps him. I really do. But guys, it is 11 o'clock. We've had like pretty much a 2-hour show tonight. So, Stacy, I really enjoyed this St. Patrick's Day show. I did. I think it was pretty cool. We learned quite a bit tonight. We had a lot of good sessions, a lot of good reads. How was your take on tonight?
Oh, we got to do all kinds of, the fun, silly stuff that, people expect you to do on any number of shows, but we just never do. Bringing in Elvis, I mean, that's classic. And, we didn't actually bring in Elvis, but we tried. Other Marilyn Monroe, all of it. I mean, it's classic. And
I thought I really did. I thought we'd have some fun tonight. I mean, a lot of times we're always doing readings for people and stuff. And I figured, hey, with tonight's show and being St. Patrick's Day, let's just reach out with the Dowsing Rods. Let's talk to the spirits out there. Let's see what we get. And we found some information on some celebrity stuff, some mysteries around their deaths. We talked to a man in his 40s that was apparently killed back in the early 1900s, was born in the 1800s. Really cool. I mean, really cool to learn that, and was buried in a marked grave somewhere on the Virginia side of things. It's really cool, the things that you do get to learn. And we learned a little bit about St. Patrick's Day. Should have reached out to Sam Kinison. See, now you guys are going to think of some other celebrities. So keep those in mind for the next time. And when we start breaking out the Dowsing Rods, we may do that. If you guys are on here, we have a good group. We may just start breaking into a new list of celebrities. We might have to try to reach out to Sam Kinison. Maybe some other famed comedians that have passed away, Robin Williams or something. I don't mind. Let's have some fun from time to time and reach out, see what we can get. See if we can find out some things.
Ask them about aliens too.
Yeah,
the dead see all. If we're being visited by aliens, they would know.
Now, I did want to clarify where Terry Lynn said that she's not my territory, that she's free range. So keep in mind that all the chickens and all the stuff that's labeled free range, they all still have a fence. Okay. They all still exist on a property. They're just not chained down to a choke collar or something. So keep that in mind, that I do pay for the range. Okay. So you can freely walk around. Anyways, I don't know where I'm going with that. Now I'm starting to sound like some asshole. No matter what. No matter how I say it now, I just sound like some chauvinistic asshole or something on here now. Anyways, no, but Terry Lynn, you are the queen. Don't worry about it. Or princess, I should say. Really, you were never a queen, right? We already established that you were some kind of princess royalty. So there you go. Yeah, Robin Williams, that hurts. Yeah. I mean, that's why I said though we can look at some of these different celebrity deaths in the future. Who I don't know, Heath Ledger. I mean, we got all kinds of them. Chris Farley. You know, you want to get in some comedians. You know, some tragedies. Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin. I mean, we got all kinds of musicians. A lot of people passed on at early ages. Some mysteriously. You know.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, guys, as you guys we'll do some fun celebrity night stuff every once in a while and
Bob
see
Saget. The judge just sealed his autopsy records.
Who?
Bob Saget.
Oh,
he just died like a month ago, and the autopsy records were sealed because, you know, somebody did not want that information public. You know, something they were saying it was an embolism, but you know, then he fell, and then you know it just kept getting weirder and weirder, and I don't know, the judge just sealed it.
Right, and you're right. That's another good one we'll have to bring up. So again, you guys write these down or remember them for next time, because I know, like, even with Bob Saget, like Terry Lynn told me about that. She was like, "Oh my God, Bob Saget died," you know, and I was like, "Oh really? Like, how'd it happen?" You know. So she was like, she told me, and I'm like, and I kind of dismissed it as like just another one of those things that, you know, we lost somebody like Harold Ramis, somebody that was still at an early, like I still consider, you know, not in that elderly, you know, stage, you know, things like that. I don't know. I mean, maybe a little early. Quit stomping. What the hell? I'm doing good. The hell? Around eyes. But what I'm saying is, needed to ask if that was accidental, right? Multiple fractures around eyes. Well, and that's what I'm saying is like, but as Terry Lynn, like every once in a while, she started telling me like, hey, you know, certain things with Bob Saget, like, and to me, just kind of sitting back and not even really investigating it myself, it was like, why is this becoming a thing? Like, I thought it was going to be kind of cut and dry, but then the more that this keeps going, the more mystery seems to keep building around it. So you're right. That's a good one.
Well, and he got it right after this all happened right after he got the shot, the vax, and all these famous people were falling down on stage right after they got the vaccination. They said he fell and all this other kind of stuff. So it's like, what's going on here?
Nikki was like, who's the one that died in a plane crash? Well, that's a huge list of celebrities. Yeah. I mean, all the way back to like, Buddy Holly, yeah. You know, the Leonard Skinner. There's a golfer that died. What was the you know,
basketball player who just died?
Yeah. Well, Kobe Bryant was helicopter.
Yeah.
But yeah, plane crashes. God, and Steve Ray Vaughan was a helicopter accident. Lots of plane crashes. Randy Rhoads, right? What from Ozzy's guitarist?
Yeah.
That was a plane crash, I believe, too. There's a ton of celebrities with plane crashes and or helicopters. You know, so believe me, there is a ton of celebrity deaths that we could tap into. It's going to really be what you guys bring up when we start doing that. So she said, by the way, need to rewatch what the session said about Brian Laundrie's parents. Yeah, I can't remember either, but it still said that his remains were somewhere in the Appalachians and that he had died there. So I'm not even fully convinced that. I mean, it's almost like they kind of wanted to wrap that up just because of all the stuff around it. And I don't think the FBI wanted to end up with another embarrassment, even though it was already too late. But they just wanted to close it out as quick as they could and just call it done. So I'm still not convinced. But, hey, you know. Evidence revealed that he knew he killed it. Yeah, the notebook and stuff. So there's a lot of things we can get into. I'm not trying to dismiss you, Terry Lynn. It's just we're running out of time. And there would definitely be, a good one, Nikki says, would be the Bermuda Triangle. You know, maybe some questions about that. That's a definite mystery.
Yeah.
And remember, folks, that some of these mysteries even spill into the cosmic forces, right? Into the spirit realms. We may never get the right answers from the spirit. We may not be supposed to know some things about the Bermuda Triangle. That's the thing. There's such a thing as forbidden knowledge, right? And we have examples in history where even fallen angels have given out forbidden information to the mankind, and we have suffered from it since. So again, there may be other forbidden knowledge like the Bermuda Triangle or other things that we are not supposed to know. So the spirits may or may not answer. So I'm just letting you guys know we may not always get some of those answers, but it would be pretty cool to ask about it. He called him and told him they were trying to get him out of the country. Yeah, I mean, I definitely believe that, you know, the Brian Laundrie's parents were, you know, helping him out. I mean, it's their son. You know, the way they acted when he was alive, after he did it, the way they treated, you know, Gabby Petito's parents. I mean, clearly they went all in for their son. And as a parent, I get that. But in this case, there is a certain point where it's like, man, you know, we gotta, you know, there's some things that morally they should have done better and correctly. So, Oak Island, yeah, ICU's at Oak Island. But yes, guys, so we could sit here all night and have a list, but we have to end the show, guys. I know you want to hear us talk, but we have to end the show. It's getting late.
Yeah.
And I've got some things I got to finish on, especially a video for my son's tennis I'm going to work on. So, but guys, seriously though, if you guys enjoyed doing the celebrity Dowsing Rod stuff, then we'll do another one soon. Okay, so keep an eye out. The best thing you can do, make sure that you're notified whenever I go live. So whether it's a notification bell or Facebook, you know, make sure you know. That way when I go live, if you can, come join us. And when you're in the chat, you can, you know, and I'll wait till we have a night where we have all you guys, 6 or 7 people, you know what I mean? And we will get you guys. And like I said, whatever celebrities, whatever questions you want to know, mysteries of the universe, we'll ask. Why not? And we'll see what the spirits say, you know. We'll just throw it out there. We'll have fun, you know, no big deal. So other than that, guys, again, I try to go live almost daily, not always. Some days I just can't. But I try to get on here almost every day. We try to at least get on, do like a daily tarot reading. Oh, that's how we'll end. We got to hurry up and do a daily. Damn it, Stacy. We forgot to do the daily for tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
So let's hurry up and do that. Let's do the daily tarot for tomorrow. So guys, whoever watches this video, this is your tarot reading. You're going to get a daily reading for tomorrow. Man, I almost forgot about that. That's usually how I like to start every show now. That way you guys can just tune out as soon as I do the daily reading at the beginning of the show. All right. So, tarot, could you please give everybody watching this video the advice for tomorrow? All right. Thank you so much. Okay. Go. Right here. These 2 cards right here call them to me. So let's see what we got. So we have the 2 of Cups and the Ace of Cups. A couple cup cards. There you go. All right, so let's take a look. So the 2 of Cups is going to be that enjoy a mutual attraction and shared positive feelings with someone. So this is attraction and connection. All right. And now for clarification, we have the Ace of Cups, which is open your heart to a new relationship or reinvigorate an old one. So it's either a new love or a new emotional connection, like in a current relationship. So guys, today, if you remember the daily reading from last night, today was about kind of like spouse appreciation day, making efforts to make sure your spouse knows of your appreciation and stuff. And I gotta say, Terry Lynn, her and I today, we were really nice to each other. We really were grateful. I know, like, I joke around about her stomping and stuff, and we just have fun. But in all honesty, though, we really did follow that advice, and it really made today like a nice day that we really appreciate each other. We were really just extra nice, and and that's one of the positive things. You know, people can say what they want about tarot, but there's so many good positive things. So, but tomorrow, this is also almost like a continuation. This is really saying that, you know, this is saying tomorrow is that day as well to really appreciate that person you're with in that relationship. But the clarifier is to renew that relationship. You know, if you don't have one, then it's saying tomorrow is the day to start trying to find that relationship if you don't have one. So somebody like, what was it, Tanya Williams earlier that wanted, you know, some love advice, and it was talking about that tomorrow might be the day that she does go out and finds that different person that she hadn't quite thought about before. But yeah, Terry says, till you piss me off, right? We appreciate each other until we piss each other off. So, but tomorrow, folks, seriously, like, this is saying, go out there. So obviously this has been so far these last few days, maybe even going into this weekend, it's really been about, you know, appreciating that person you're with, like reinvigorating that relationship, like the clarifier is talking about. Reinvigorate that. And that's part of what today should have been as well, is let them know that you appreciate them. And then tomorrow, you know, make those efforts to shake that relationship back up and rejuvenate it. So hopefully you guys have a good day tomorrow. It sounds like it could be a very positive day for a lot of people, whether you're in a relationship or whether you're looking for a relationship. Very positive information for tomorrow. Stacy, what do you think about that? You looking forward to tomorrow then?
Yeah. I mean, the Two of Cups is like a bra, and a bra is there for your support. So, I mean, think of it that way. You know, be there as support, or, you know, let someone else be support for you, like a bra.
And Terrylin's gonna go play with her resin while I go work on a video for her, so for our son. So awesome. But guys, appreciate each and every one of you. I know Stacy does as well. I don't want to speak for him too much, but guys, we here at Beyond the Veil, the Everything Paranormal Show, we always appreciate you guys showing up. You guys are amazing folks that come in the chat, and now we're getting some new regulars with Nikki Kerslake and Sadia Coronado, and of course seeing Beat 3 Airspace pop in again, and Bigfoot A9, ICU, of course, one of our regulars from all the way back in toward the beginning. So it's good to see some of you guys coming back on that regular Thursday night, or even some of the dailies we've been doing. Appreciate each and every one of you guys. And remember, we'll see you in the next video. Seek the truth.
Peace.